Hello everyone, my name is Pratiksha and we will continue with the provision of section 34 in continuation with the previous session. So, section 34(1) talks about grounds for setting aside an award. A domestic arbitral award can be set aside by the court only if the award was made in violation of the principle of natural justice. For example, if we take a party was not given proper notice of arbitration proceeding or was not allowed to present its case. The arbitration agreement was not valid under the law to which the parties have agreed or under Indian law. The award deals with a dispute not contemplated by or not falling within the terms of the submission to arbitration. So this example will take to understand that the arbitral tribunal decided on a matter outside the scope of the dispute agreed upon in the arbitration clause. Okay. So the next is the composition of the arbitral tribunal was not in accordance with the agreement of the parties or the law governing the arbitration process. The award is in conflict with the public policy of India. This is a broad and controversial ground, and the scope of public policy is constantly evolving in the case laws. Section 34, subsection 2, talks about time limit for filing an application. An application for setting aside an award must be made within 3 months from the date of an award. This period can be extended by an additional 30 days if the party can show sufficient cause of delay. Section 34, subsection 4 talks about correction of clerical or mathematical errors. If there are clerical or computational errors in the award, a party can ask the tribunal to correct the mistake before filing a petition for setting aside. Grounds for setting aside an award, key legal interpretation uh, for this is first is violation of natural justice. Natural justice implies the right to fair hearing and the right to present one's case. An award can be set aside if a party is denied the opportunity to participate in the proceeding or was not properly notified of the arbitral proceeding. For example, we'll understand with the case law. ONGC Limited was a Saw Pipes Limited 2003 case. The Supreme Court of India emphasized that the court can set aside an arbitral award if it is against the public policy of India. This judgment expanded the scope of public policy and allowed courts to intervene in cases involving fraud or corruption in the arbitral proceeding. Second is public policy. Public policy is the most debated ground for setting aside awards. It is understood to mean the fundamental principle of justice and morality that govern the legal system. We'll understand with the case laws, Renu Sagar Power Corporation Limited versus General Electric Corporation. It's a 1994 case. In this, the Supreme Court ruled that an award could only be set aside if it violates Indian public policy, and the court cannot interfere in an award unless the breach is substantial. Third, invalid arbitration agreement. An award will be set aside if it is based on invalid arbitration agreement. The validity of an arbitration agreement must be assessed under the Indian Contract Act 1972. Case is Kailasnath Associates with versus DDA 2015. The Supreme Court held that an award can be set aside if the arbitration agreement is found to be invalid. Third, enforcement procedure for domestic awards. So once an arbitral award is made, the next step is to enforcement of an award. Okay, so this is a basic thing. After an award, the first thing which has to be taken place is enforcement of the award, and how that will gonna happen. We'll read it further. So execution of award. So key provision of enforcement are section 36, subsection 1, section 36, subsection 2, and section 36, subsection 3. So section 36 talks about enforcement of domestic award, in which section 36, subsection 1 talks about automatic enforcement. A domestic award is enforceable as a decree of the court once the time for filing a set aside application has expired, or if the application is dismissed, the award can be enforced in same manner as a civil judgment or decree. Section 36, subsection 2 talks about stay of enforcement. The enforcement of an award may be stayed by the court if the party seeking to set aside the award has filed an application within the prescribed time and proves that there is a prima facie case of setting aside the award. Section 36, subsection 3, execution of the award. The party seeking enforcement of an award can file an execution application in the court where the award debtor has assets. The court will treat the award as a civil judgment and may take appropriate steps to enforce the award, including attaching property or bank accounts. The case laws are related to it, such as Indian Oil Corporation Limited versus Amritsar Gas Services, 1991. The Supreme Court in this case ruled that the court must give effect to the award and it is bound to enforce the award as a decree. The court clarified that the Arbitration Act created a statutory obligation on courts to enforce domestic awards. Bharat Aluminium Corporation versus Kesar Aluminium Technical Service 2012. In this case, the stress that the enforcement of awards cannot be denied based on the minor procedural issues unless it goes against the fundamental principle of justice. Third case law talks about that is State of UP versus JP Associates Limited 2014. The Supreme Court ruled that if the award debtor seeks to challenge the enforcement, they must provide substantial grounds for delay or refusal of enforcement. The key takeaways uh, from the session is Section 34 provides narrow grounds for setting aside domestic arbitral awards such as violation of natural justice, invalid arbitration agreement, and conflict with public policy. Public policy is a key ground for setting aside an award, but it is narrowly interpreted by Indian court. Section 36 ensures that once an award is not set aside, it can be enforced in the same manner as a court decree. Fourth is the enforcement of award is vital for making arbitration a binding and effective dispute resolution process in India. By understanding the setting aside and enforcement procedure under Arbitration and Conciliation Acts, you guys can grasp how domestic arbitration operates effectively in the Indian legal system, promoting justice and efficiency in resolving disputes. We'll also discuss about the comparison between international and domestic arbitration. Okay. So arbitration is a form of alternative dispute resolution that allows parties to resolve disputes outside of the court system. It can be classified into domestic and international arbitration, each with own scope, legal framework, and features. So in this module, we'll explore the key differences and similarities between international and domestic arbitration and provide you with a clear understanding of how each type operates under the law. So, if we talk about the domestic arbitration, domestic arbitration occurs when the parties to the disputes are based in the same country or jurisdiction. The arbitration agreement and the dispute must be governed by laws of that country. The seat of arbitration and the arbitrators are generally located within the scope jurisdiction. And international arbitration takes place when the parties are based in different countries or jurisdiction. The disputes involves international contracts, cross-border commercial transaction, or foreign investment dispute. It is governed by international convention and treaties. Example, the New York Convention, along with the national laws of the seat of arbitration. Key differences. Domestic arbitration is local, whereas international arbitration is cross-border and involves international aspects like foreign parties, international treaties, and conflicts of laws. The legal framework related to it is domestic arbitration. If we talk about national laws govern domestic arbitration such as Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996 in India. The procedure for conducting the arbitration challenges to award enforcement are governed by the Indian legal system. The court intervention is typically limited to overseeing procedural fairness and enforcing awards under national law. For international arbitration, it is governed by both international convention, that is New York Convention for enforcement of foreign awards, and the national laws of seat of arbitration. Institutions like ICC, SIAC, and ICA provide rules that parties can adopt for international arbitration. The scope of court intervention is even more limited, primarily dealing with enforcement of awards and resolving issues relating to public policy or jurisdictional challenges. The key differences here is domestic arbitration is governed by national laws, while international arbitration is governed by both international treaties and national laws of the seat of arbitration. Recognition and enforcement of awards for domestic arbitration. It can be enforced within the country where the arbitration took place. Enforcement is governed by Arbitration and Conciliation Act, Section 36, where an award is treated as a civil decree. The enforcement process is usually straightforward unless there are challenges under Section 34 for setting aside the award. International arbitration. International arbitration awards are recognized and enforced globally under the New York Convention 1958. The New York Convention mandates that awards made in contracting state must be recognized and enforced by other contracting states subject to certain exception. Example, violation of public policy. The process of enforcement is more complex as it involves cross-border legal procedures and compliance with foreign countries' law. The key differences here is domestic awards are enforced within the jurisdiction of the award, whereas international awards require enforcement cross jurisdiction governed by international treaties like New York Convention. Now we'll discuss about seat of arbitration.